For whatever reason, Wednesday is becoming a huge day for Destiny 2 news, my dudes. Last week, we had the all-new development roadmap revealed. This week, we have an early Bungie Weekly update. The update reveals new information about how leveling is changing with the next expansion, and all new gameplay of updated and hugely buffed exotic weapons. And so, let's get started. What is up, guys? Rick Kakas here, and today we have a bunch of Destiny 2 news to go over. I wish Bungie gave some more warning because luckily I was browsing Twitter at the time and saw that they again had posted their weekly update one day early. And this weekly update, whew, there's some really cool stuff. So let's get started right off the bat with the cool stuff. Now the cool stuff is exotic weapon gameplay, and these are exotic weapons that have been pretty dramatically affected by buffs in the upcoming exotic pass. Bungie has stated for a long time that with the arrival of DLC 2 Warmind on May 8th, that all of the exotic weapons in Destiny are getting an exotic pass, a look at, and most of them are getting pretty significant buffs. Now, we've always heard about these buffs. For example, Bungie went into detail about the Graviton Lance, saying that it would become a two-shot burst, the explosions would be bigger, more impactful, and create seeking projectiles, etc. But we haven't really gotten a ton of gameplay aside from the Sturm and Drang. They actually are buffing those two combo weapons to make it so that if you get a kill with the Sidearm, you can actually two-shot kill people with the hand cannon in PvP. It looks frankly pretty ridiculous, but today they unveiled 3 more pieces of gameplay for 3 more exotic weapons containing these dramatic buffs, and they look just as ridiculous. Now, speaking of the Graviton Lance, let's take a look at the all-new Graviton Lance that you'll get your hands on with the May 8th update. So, that looks pretty good. Who needs a Wardcliff coil when you have a Graviton Lance, apparently? But there is more. The next weapon we're talking about is the Skyburner's Oath. Now, according to Bungie, this weapon just, well, and according to anyone who used it, it lacked punch. It didn't deal enough damage to make it worth it. Well, Bungie addressed this by turning it into a grenade launcher. Kind of. When you aim down sights, it's still going to shoot hit scan projectiles, just like it does now. But when you're not aimed down sights, it's going to shoot lobbed projectiles that explode and cause area of effect damage on impact. In fact, let's just take a look at it in action. So again, that looks pretty good. I've heard it commented that the Skyburner's Oath doesn't look like it's dealing that much damage, but the utility is in area of effect. So many of the best weapons in the game are the best weapons in the game, especially for PvE, just because they have explosive rounds, making a fully automatic explosive rounds-esque dispensing weapon that should not be overlooked. And moving on from there, the next weapon that was showcased was the Rat King exotic Sidearm. Now, they actually outlined what is changing, but I'm gonna let you guys just watch the gameplay because there's quite a surprise. So, as you clearly saw, The Rat King is now going to be fully automatic. That is a huge increase to overall DPS for most people. In addition to that, the way the perk works has been changed a little bit to front load it so that when you have one other and two other people using the Rat King, you're going to get more of a damage bonus, but still that damage bonus goes all the way to 6 people. In addition, the Rat King now won't care if it's stowed away or in use. As long as it's equipped in your or your teammate's kinetic slot, you will get that bonus. So 4 people can be using it and 2 people can have it equipped but be sniping or whatever, and you'll still get the 6-person damage bonus. Those are some pretty huge changes, and especially the fully automatic one, my goodness, that is a big change. So, right there, we have 3 exotic weapons that are getting pretty substantial buffs. This is really going to, I think, dramatically alter the meta. Especially even, I think people are overlooking PvP right now. The Vigilance Wing is kind of the new hotness, but with all of these changes to all of these exotics and the fact that you can only use 1 exotic slot at a time, expect just to see a lot more variety with exotic weapons in PvP and PvE especially. Don't forget that on May 8th, we're also getting exotic Masterworks. And Bungie specifically said that for the Rat King, there's a very juicy result of it being Masterwork. What could they mean? We don't exactly know. They did also tease that next week they may be showing off even more clips of exotic weapon gameplay so we can see more buffs coming with that huge update. Now, moving on from there, Bungie talked about some pretty substantial changes within leveling coming with DLC 2 Warmind. Essentially, Bungie is dialing back how easy it is to level up and changing the sources of where you're going to get endgame content. You can no longer, they say, just farm public events for 40 exotics a day and level up that way, which admittedly was a bit ridiculous. Now, some people I guarantee are going to push back on this issue, especially the people who feel like they don't play very often and they want their play sessions to be rewarded. But judging by how easily it was to level up and get to the end game, and then the disappointment of the end game because you reach it so quickly and there's nothing there, in Destiny 2, I think it's pretty hard to argue that things need to change. And making things a little bit more difficult to level up, I think is a step in the right direction. So what exactly are they doing? Well, when Warmind comes out, there's going to be a soft and a hard cap. Now the soft cap is at 340 light. So that means that pretty much everything in the game, no matter which activity you're doing, those rewards will drop all the way up to 340. And then the hard cap, the actual maximum light you can get to, is going to be the power level of 380. Now, both of these do not account for the +5 bonus you get for mods. So technically, the maximum power level cap with Warmind is 385. Bungie says, quote, "Our target is that players who participate in all the weekly activities should take several weeks to reach the hard cap. Raid/trials grant the largest increases, Clan Engrams provide very small increases, and other weekly sources fall in between these two." They also state that the final 10 power points from 370 to 380 will be significantly slower than 340 to 370. Now, Clan Engrams are also being pretty significantly changed. They previously provided huge bonuses, and they're still going to provide huge bonuses of an average of 15 power higher than your best possible current set until you get to the soft cap of 340. Then, the rest of the way, Clan Engrams are only going to be around 0 to 2 points above your best possible power level. This, I think, is a good move. I thought Clan Engrams were a little bit BS since the beginning. The fact that you can get raid weapons without doing the raid totally poisons the experience, and you can argue with that all you want, except for the fact that no one plays the game anymore because there's no motivation to do the raid when you already have all the raid loot without ever having to play the raid, alright? So, you're still going to get a benefit of Clan Engrams, you're still going to get new loot, it's still going to be higher, but it won't be as much higher as it has been. In addition to that, Bungie is changing the fact that you can't just start new characters to exploit level up processes. There's going to be caps on launch quests, 260 for the original D2, Curse of Osiris caps at 300, and Warmind caps at 340. In addition, Bungie states that farming exotics to increase your power has been removed. If they drop from a non-weekly source, they'll come out of the engram and be the same power as a legendary would after you've gotten to the soft cap. So, those are some pretty significant changes, and frankly, some of them sound kinda mean. Like, you are really limiting how much you can level up, how much you can accomplish in a play session when you're implementing these changes. And my hope is that they don't go too far. In the past, for example, when leveling up with the Taken King expansion, it was random. Like, remember, you would randomly get weapons that could spawn between 310 or 320, and you could just be forever 319 and have to luck out and get a perfect 320 drop. That was ridiculous, and that is not the way you should do it. But as long as there is constant progression, that when you are doing weekly activities or whatever, you are constantly progressing in your power level, even if it's just 1 power level forward, 2 power levels forward, that is the way to go. That is a great way to progress. And dialing back how fast it was, again, I believe that is an overall better thing for the health of the game. And so guys, that is it for the video. Those are the most substantial updates in this week's weekly update. I hope you enjoyed and found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. Now, if you guys want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus. That's linked in the description down below, as is my Twitch channel, which you can also follow. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.